Okay, so this is the first in a number of videos where we're going to talk about some of the heroes in Fortnite Save the World. I'm going to try and focus on the Outlander class, I think, more than anything, and that's the one that is both my favourite and also the one that I have the most experience with. And a number of people like that, oh, you do some really good videos looking at either endgame characters, endgame bits, endgame weapons, endgame traps. We're looking in the middle of Canny Valley, so that is to say 3-star out of the possible 5 stars you can have. You can see the Stoneheart Farah there. So you get 3 stars where I can get my characters to. And first off, we're going to start with Red Willow. Possibly, is she the worst character in the game? Well, we're going to find out in a second. So firstly, you can get her still. This is her quest here, still in the game. Let's see if I can actually just look at the different bits. You've got different missions. I've already done this already, as you can see, but you've got to do various different fetch quests and smashing quests and whatever. It's not that long. Can it even go? Oh yeah, so we did. It's a whole, what's that, 10 missions, not that hard to do. But in the end, you get her. There she's there. When she's at max level, she looks like that. And so, I guess the important thing is, what does she do? She's an Outlander, you can see in the little box. So this is her 3-star. You can see it's a little different in the clothing. And if we just look at her straight up, there we go. I've got her set up at the minute in the Blast in the Past kit, which is why her health is a bit off, because it's 200% health and no shield. So actually her health is half that normally. However, if you just take a quick look at her perk, which is probably the most important bit for any hero in the game, you can look here and you can see that she has a relatively trash right, in that if she's just in the team, she deals 20 energy base damage in a very small radius. That actually is much more than you think when we're going to see it in a minute. And at the same time, if she's the leader, she has a 60% chance to conjure a phantasm, which is something that targets a nearby enemy, generating 3 times more energy, 3 times more energy damage, slightly closer in, with a very small cooldown. So, not someone that I can actually think of a particularly good use for. So, firstly, if she's in the team, I think she's pretty pointless, to be honest, because this damage is so small and you're going to see it exactly in a second, as I said. So the only way I could think of working was to try and make her the commander, because maybe if you use the phantasms as well, maybe, then that might be more useful. The problem is all the other characters I have with phantasms, so let's see, for example, Swamp Knight. He's not leveled yet, but ignore the leveling for a second. His phantasm part only works with the commander perk too. So, a bit pointless using him with her. Whereas there is another here, I think. I want to say it's, yeah, there you go. It's Willow, rather than Red Willow. And you can see again, her commander perk has a phantasm being conjured with a slightly higher actually percentage chance. It's 60% for Red Willow, but for normal Willow, so to speak, is 70%. So that's a bit weird. But anyway, neither of these two characters with phantasms actually work with this one. Now, there are a couple of other characters in the game that I don't have that maybe could work better. However, we've got to work with what we can have at this point in the game, assuming you haven't played huge amounts of the missions yet and you haven't unlocked every single character you can possibly get hold of. And the best way I could find to try and fit her into a squad was a bit like this. So firstly, the model itself is pretty cool actually, looks alright. Unfortunately though, not that useful. So I went with Fossil Southie. Fossil Southie is always my go-to to generate energy. He generates energy way slower, being in the support team, but at least he's getting energy so that we can phase shift more, because phase shifting is going to be the key. You have to phase shift as much as you can with this to work. Second thing we've got in here, I've got Parasaurus Jess. And Parasaurus Jess heals every time you use an ability. So every time we phase shift, we can heal and dish out damage to Red Willow. So that's, those 3 characters together should, in theory, work okay. This is phase shift Jess, I want to say. Let's just check. Is that phase shift Jess? Phase scout Jess, I should say. And she increases the number of charges you can have by 1. So, apart from the fact that she's mythical, so she has higher base health and so on to help with the team generally, her main goal is simply to give us more phase shifts, which is the best I could do to try and think how can we do more phase shifting really quickly. I suppose you could switch these two round if you wanted to have 3 phase shift charges, and you lose the phantasm damage. I guess I'm trying to look over the phantasm damage first, see what's worthwhile, because if it's not worthwhile, then maybe you have to run the support, but even then 20 base damage is pretty pitiful. And then I'm using, this is Prehistoric Isa, specifically for the armor, just to help survivability, and I decided to go with, what's the name of this Ken again? Jurassic Ken, there we go. With Jurassic Ken, specifically because he does 20% more damage for abilities when we do them. So if we're phase shifting, theoretically we should do 20% more damage for the shockwave, I assume, which is only 4 damage more, which is not exactly a massive, like, game breaking type thing. But that's about the best way I could think of to fit her in. Otherwise, she has to be in the support team somewhere. There are a couple other heroes that could have worked that I don't have either leveled or I didn't think would be useful too much. I mean, we've got Shock Blaster Buzz. I just select that a second. No, not Shock Blaster Buzz. Which one is it again? I've lost. It's one of the. Okay, I've lost which character it was then. Which character? So, oh, it's Recon. There you go. Sorry, it's Recon, Scout, Eagle Eye. They kind of look very similar. That's why we look at the two. That's the problem. Anyway, you can see that she phase shifts. She can either increase damage, increase distance. Sorry, and she can also increase movement speed. So we could stick her in the lead position and put Red Willow in the side position, but then you'd lose the phantasm damage. So I don't know yet whether the phantasm damage is actually worth anything. Newsflash, spoiler, it probably isn't. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go into Adventure. The reason for doing Adventures is because it's scaled to me. And what we'll do is we'll just give it a shot and see if we can actually do anything with it, just even on a green mission, low level, not the greatest weapons, but then weapon damage shouldn't apply to any of the base damage, whatever we're doing. So let's load the game and see what is what. Okay, so here you're loading the game. I just went for the gold ball on the back, because why not? So this is a, let's look at the characters and the others. Just is a level 3. We're really gone really low bar here. So you can see this is just Vengeance right at the start. Here's something. Turn off the sound because it can be a bit annoying when Ray especially just starts talking at random. Here you go. These guys here. So these are 2 level 3 guys, and if I phase shift them, I should damage them. You can see I've got 4 charges on the standard 3 because I'm using Phase Scout Jets. So let's just try this. Okay. There we go. That didn't hit them. Okay, let's try again. Oh, wrong way. Okay, that's how much damage that takes off. Yeah, so this is not the best of moves. I mean, oh, there you go, the Phantasm. Oh, okay, well, you can see the Phantasm. But you can see the damage, right? It's not. I'm trying to sound positive, but really I am. But it's like. Oh, trying to follow things, well, that usually helps. I mean, I'm not killing these guys. Try my best to. Oh, there we go. Okay, the Phantasm killer. So basically, it's taking me like. I mean, how many is that? 6 phase shifts? Something like that. Okay, let's try and find. Okay, there's some non-husky husks. Okay, so we killed a few of them straight off, and these guys are damaged badly. Okay, but these are level 3 guys. So it's not really a super fair test. Oh, we'll do this again. Then what I'll do is I'll try and flick to a higher level and see. Okay, so there you go. So we killed them. Okay, so it does work. Theoretically. Kinda. But okay, let's just what we'll do is we'll move to a better level, a more difficult level, like a level 15 Avengers, and we'll see how exactly that compares to that. Okay, so we are back again, so to speak, and this time we're in a level 15 Ventures still. Just doing Ventures because it's probably the easiest way to modify everything without biasing the test. And it's just a retrieve data. It doesn't really matter what mission type it is, retrieve the data. I just want to see the damage and look at it. You know when you're looking for husks and you can never find them? I want to do that mission right now. bit of blurring. I'm going, where? There's another one of this monster. That'll just completely obliterate my character given how pathetic this move is. I mean, how great this move is. Both. Come on, there must be some normal husks around. Time's going down. And there's a miss monster there was. Oh, there you go. Okay. This is a husky husk. And a normal guy. Okay, so before we kill the normal guy and the huskers, we barely damage with this move. Yep. There we go. So you can see that the damage is still the same. But obviously they've got a lot more health now. So, just trying to push the right buttons again. Usually helps. Yeah, and you can see because it's a 1 in 2 in 3 chance of a phantasm. There you go. So it took me 3 phase jumps supposed to get a phantasm and to kill the normal husk. And that was with a phantasm. So I've hit him, I think, 4 times now, and hit him with a phantasm at least once, not twice. Couldn't tell because once you do this, you can't actually see what's behind you to see what happened. But that's the damage from 4 phase shifts and possibly up to 2 phantasms, maybe just 1. How about one of the lobbers? Oop, did not mean to do that. Okay, after again. Okay, let's you can see the damage actually, because I did that move for a couple of times. You can see, there you go, a hit point bar. So, this is not good, to say the least. The Phantasm 60% is really not worth it. And, just try to run away from that guy. And the, should do that. And the actual phase shift damage is pretty pathetic. I mean, 20 base damage from a character is pretty low. And you can see the difference. So at level 3, yeah, sure, it's killing these basic. Okay, there's another bunch of basic guys. Let's just kill these basic guys if we can. Okay, yeah. So okay, so if the Phantasm hits, you kill the basic ones. If the Phantasm doesn't hit, they kind of laugh at you, which is a bit sad. And I'm trying to find ways to hit them, because that's the other thing that's hard, right? Because if you're running along, you're trying to hit her, right? That seems to go over her head. So you have to phase shift quite low. Oop. Surprisingly hard. You can't just easily do that, at least on a control. I'm using a control. It might be easier on a keyboard because you just press the right number, but you can see struggling to kill these guys using this ability, this perk, which is pretty pathetic. I don't see a press punch by mistake sometimes. Oh, dear me. Oh yeah, we go with the Phantasm. Okay, so thoughts. Probably not the best loadout for her. Best one I can think of on the short term. Not a great character in terms of ability, that's for sure. I mean, if she's if she's like your 5th support character, maybe. I mean, remember, of course, I also have 20% base, 20% extra damage being dealt, thanks to Jurassic Ken's ability. So, yeah, it's not. I'm trying to think of a way to spin this to make it sound great, but it really isn't great. It's hard to hit them. It's hard to get the Phantasms to spawn. It's hard to actually do significant damage, honestly. And really, see, like that. Look at that. I mean, that's it right there. Ooh, punch him as well. Oh, we can punch him though. That's fine. Probably do more damage from the anti-material charges than it is from the shockwave. So there we have it. Red Willow. Not a great character in any way. I'm not even sure I can think of a useful way to use her, even as a support character inside one of my setups, if I'm being completely honest. But if you disagree, feel free. If you have a specific loadout you can think of, look at my heroes before, or any Outlanders, let me know. I can probably work it out to give it a shot. but I don't think there's a good loadout to fit her in. And I don't think I'm that far away from the best one you can probably use. Without legendary characters or without characters that are difficult to get hold of, especially if you're early in the game. You've just unlocked it this week, say, for the first time. Oh, the energy is so slow as well without Fossil South Italy. But if you just unlocked it in the past week, say, and you've only been playing, I don't know, 3 months, maybe, then you don't really have all the characters you might want that you could use to manipulate some of these abilities a bit better. So, working with what we got, I think this character is a dud. So, thank you for watching. Let me know below, like I said, if you've got any thoughts, if you've got any better characters you could use with her. The model itself, actually, I like the model. The design's good. Just the actual character is terrible. And hopefully I'll see you guys all next time when I'll try and start reviewing some other characters from slightly further back in the game. Or Outlander specifically. But if there's any characters you want me to try and work out the best loader for, let me know and I will see what I can do.